Back in 2017, the Cleveland Browns made one of the most infamous draft picks in NFL history when they selected Myles Garrett with the first overall pick. But what if they had taken somebody else? Well, that's why in today's video, we're going to be looking back at the top 7 2017 NFL drafts and see how things would have turned out differently. Number 1. The Cleveland Browns originally taking Myles Garrett, a defensive end out of Texas A&M, and redoing their pick for Patrick Mahomes, a quarterback out of Texas Tech. This is where things get interesting. Switching Myles Garrett for Mahomes, and let's be real, Myles Garrett may be a sack master for the Browns, but Patrick Mahomes, he's on a whole other level. This guy's got more NFL records than you've got socks in your drawers. And with how good that he's been, it's stunning to imagine that he was a 10th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft. His arm is like a cannonball firing shots across the field, and his improvisation ability is basically like he's got a secret playbook of crazy plays that nobody else can see. But there is more. Mahomes has the ability to demoralize defenses with his playmaking. Whenever the Chiefs need something positive, it's like their very own genie, just granting wishes left and right. His talent might have helped save Hugh Jackson's coaching tenure in Cleveland, but the question would remain on if Hugh could help develop Mahomes as Andy Reid did. Number 2, the Chicago Bears via San Francisco. Their original pick, Michael Tewksbury, the quarterback out of North Carolina, and their redo pick was Deshaun Watson, the quarterback out of Clemson. In the 2017 NFL Draft, the Bears were on a mission to find their quarterback savior and were determined to nab the ultimate gem after a crafty trade maneuver. But this time, instead of Michael Tewksbury, they set their sights high on an elusive, bona fide top 10 quarterback, the legendary Watson. He had a very impressive rookie season in 2017, we'll give him that. In fact, he started 6 games and played in 7, threw for 1,699 yards, got 19 touchdowns and 8 interceptions in the process. He also ended up rushing for 269 yards and got 2 touchdowns out of that. His passer rating of 103 was the 10th in the NFL among qualifying quarterbacks, and he was even named to the PFWA All-Rookie team and was ranked 50th by his peers on the NFL Top 100 Players of 2018. He ended up being a finalist for the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year award, which was ultimately taken by Kareem Hunt. Watson's rookie season, though, was cut short by an ACL tear, which he suffered in practice on November 2nd, 2017. He had surgery on November 8th and was expected to miss the rest of the season. However, he did return in Week 17 and led the Texans to a win over the Jaguars. Overall, Watson has been one of the best down-to-down passers in the NFL, displaying an excellent combination of awareness, mobility, accuracy, and has made play after play throughout his career, despite the poor situation around him in Houston. He is a skilled passer under pressure despite not having an elite arm, and he elevates the play of every guy around him. Watson's accuracy, boasting a 4.2 completion percentage, has crawled Houston out of a bad situation and is what made him and DeAndre Hopkins such a deadly duo. Pairing Watson with the defense coached by Vic Fangio would have made an excellent combination, one that certainly would have been more dynamic than what originally happened. Number 3, the San Francisco 49ers via Chicago. The original pick, Solomon Thomas, the defensive end out of Stanford, and the repick was Myles Garrett, the defensive end out of Texas A&M. In 2017, the 49ers were playing a game of where's the star player? They traded back, grabbed some picks, and then boom, they settled on Solomon Thomas at number 3 overall. Thomas did have a few sacks sprinkled over 5 seasons, but hey, let's be real, he wasn't really that effective. At the end of his rookie deal, they basically just sent him packing. Now, let's say Myles had slipped to number 2, and the 49ers would have been doing the touchdown dance all the way to the bank. This guy is something else on the field. A 6'4", 272-pound athletic beast with bendy moves that'll leave you scratching your head. And in his 2021 season alone, he was nothing short of hot. Seriously, 16 sacks, a Browns single-season record, and the dude's got more double digits in sacks than a high-stakes blackjack game. Now, picture Garrett and Nick Bosa teaming up. Seriously, that dynamic duo would be destruction. But hey, life's full of twists and turns, and we'll never know what could have happened. So here's to the might have beens, Garrett and Bosa, the dream duo that would have lived on in football fantasy land. Number 4, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Their original pick, Leonard Fournette, running back out of LSU, with their redo pick, TJ Watt, the outside linebacker from Wisconsin. Next up, we got a pass rushing showdown of epic proportions. Myles Garrett might be strutting his stuff as the sack king, but lurking just behind him is none other than TJ the sack machine Watt. This guy is a sack magician. In fact, he tied the sack record at 22.5, making quarterbacks everywhere tremble in fear. Oh, and did I forget to mention that he's got some serious family bragging rights? His big bro, JJ Watt, might be a legend, but TJ, well, he's giving him a run for his money. Literally. This dude is like a tornado of pressure, leaving quarterbacks running for their lives and offensive lines in shambles. In just 5 seasons, he's piled up 317 quarterback pressures and 77 sacks. That's more takedowns than a WWE wrestler on a rampage. And to add a little bit of icing on the cake, TJ has been leading the league in sacks for not just 1, but 2 seasons straight. He's like the Pied Piper of sacks. He leads, and the sacks follow. Now, imagine him joining forces with the Jaguars' talented defensive back in 2017. The Jaguars would have been unstoppable, steamrolling their way to the Super Bowl that year. Number 5, the Tennessee Titans. Their original pick, Corey Davis, the wide receiver out of Western Michigan, and the redo pick, Marshawn Lattimore, the cornerback out of Ohio State. Next up, we've got a tale of 2 players, Corey Davis and Marshawn the interception magician Lattimore. Now, don't get me wrong, Davis is good, but Lattimore is a whole nother thing entirely. Seriously, he's like the Houdini of cornerbacks, making wide receivers disappear from the game. This dude is so good. Pro Bowler? Oh yeah, he's got that on lock. 4 times, in fact. And get this, his skills ended up landing him a jaw-dropping paycheck of $97.6 million. Interceptions? Please. He's snatching those like a kid stealing cookies from the cookie jar. And when it comes to pass breakups, he's swatting down balls like he's playing a game of volleyball on the field. The dude's got more moves smoother than butter on hot toast. Athleticism, instincts, technique, and all that wrapped up into one amazing package. Now, let's take a real quick peek at Lattimore and Kevin the Safeguard Byard teaming up. It's kind of like Batman and Robin patrolling the streets, except they're protecting the end zones from any would-be invaders. With these 2 guys in the secondary, opposing quarterbacks are going to be shaking in their cleats. They don't know where they're going to be able to throw the ball because Lattimore and Byard are going to be having it on lockdown. Number 6, the New York Jets. The original pick, Jamal Adams, the safety out of LSU, and then the redo pick was Christian McCaffrey, running back from Stanford. While the Jets got pretty good play from their original pick in Jamal Adams, and their trade of Adams has been helped springboarding their rebuild, the team didn't have a true running back at the time. Adams was a productive and talented player, but considerably had a lot of poor passing defense from the corner room, which did help contribute to the firing of Todd Bowles just a year later. Christian McCaffrey, on the other hand, is one of the game's best. He's the only player in NFL history to be named All-Pro at 2 positions within the same season. And he's also been selected to the Pro Bowl since and is considered to be one of the best all-round running backs in the NFL. His play has been a huge part of why the Panthers experienced such an offensive resurgence, at least within the last few seasons. Being able to steal McCaffrey would just be an added boom for the Jets. Number 7, the LA Chargers. The original pick, Mike Williams, wide receiver out of Clemson, and the redo pick was Chris Goodwin, wide receiver out of Penn State. So it looks like the Chargers ended up taking a deal where Mike Williams ended up getting traded out for Chris Goodwin. Mike Williams has been a productive player for the Chargers as of recent and just signed a lucrative contract with the team, but let's be real here, he's not quite the player Chris Goodwin has been. Goodwin's been one of the most physically dominant players in the NFL and pairs his physical gifts with excellent technique versus press coverage. Let's talk about these contested situations. It's like Goodwin turns into a bully boss out there, snatching passes from the air like a boss taking candy from a baby. 1,000 yards? Psh, that's just another day at the office for this guy. And he's putting up numbers like a math wizard on steroids. Remember the 2020-2021 Super Bowl? Yeah, Goodwin was there leading the Bucs. And let's not forget his partner in crime, Mike Evans, as together they're a dynamic duo, leaving defenders shaking in their cleats. Now, picture this, Goodwin and Kareem Allen joining forces, huh? It's kind of like the Avengers assembling for an all-out offensive assault.